Well, joining me now is aviation expert Dayo Kayode. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
It's my pleasure being here. Good morning.
Now, a lot of, we've had issues surrounding crashes across the country over time. And another incident happened on Saturday with regards to that helicopter. I wonder what you make of the way things were being handled when it occurred. The incident occurred on Okwebi. According to reports, like our reporter pointed out, the helicopter hovered around for some time before it decided to crash in between walls in a residential area in Okwebi.
Yeah, you see, we've been hearing so many reports about the crash that happened on Friday. And no doubt about it, AIB is still doing their investigation. So whatever any of us from the industry are saying are just a kind of speculative, and then sometimes based on eyewitness accounts, and coming up also with experience that we have been saying in the Nigerian aviation industry in the past. Having said that, you're going to see that the eyewitness there said the aircraft was hovering for a while.
Time, yeah.
There was also another eyewitness that also said the pilot knew that that helicopter was going to crash. So because of that, he decided to even release all the fuel in the helicopter so that there won't be flame, so that there won't be outbursts of flame and all that. And of course, we were able to see it from the scene of the crash, that there is no flame there, okay? Now, looking at that, you want to look at how has aviation industry been able to predict hazard? Because safety is all about hazard identification. To what extent do they have relationship with those pilots before even taking off? The briefing. I don't know whether you have seen the video that is trending now.
Absolutely, but I would like to put you on hold for a bit, because my colleague Mike Okwache is at the scene of the incident. He'll bring us an update what he can find at this point at the scene of the incident. Mike, talk to us now. What is happening at the scene of the incident, especially with regards to the wreckage and what those who live in the compound are saying?
Well, Veronica, it's good to be here this morning to see how things are, but I must tell you, I'm in front of the gate of the building where things happened. The landlady of the house, who owns the house and who was a witness to everything that happened, wouldn't let us in this morning. We went in earlier on before she woke up to see the scene of the incident, but she wouldn't want to speak to anybody now, and we have to respect that. So I'm just in front of the gate on the building where things happened. This is the gate where things happened. It happened between this building and the other building, and on Salvation Road around Okwebi. Now, the wreckage has been evacuated. I can tell you that for sure, because I was there. I saw the level of damage, and then there were about 2 vehicles that were also affected from the helicopter crash, and they have all been evacuated as well. So that is the nature of things right now. We understand that the NEMA wanted to conduct a trauma and a trauma test on those who were around, especially the elderly woman who was around and who witnessed and saw what happened. For now, I am not sure if that has happened yet. I wanted to speak to her so that I would know if that has been conducted already, because that was supposed to help them stabilize in case they were traumatized from what happened that day. But all that has been, the helicopter wreckage has been evacuated, as well as the cars that were destroyed from the crash.
All right. Were you able to speak with anyone with regards to what happened on that day? Because, like you know, conflicting reports are always gotten. Those saying that the helicopter hovered for a bit and some other information there. Were you able to speak with anyone to get any specific information?
Yes, the point there is, I spoke to some security officers who were here. So one of them was around and saw actually what happened. And he told me, he gave a lot of commendation to the pilot. He talked about how experienced he was from what he saw, because he said the pilot tried to leak the fuel of the helicopter before the touchdown. And that was a way of helping to ensure that there was no explosion or fire incident afterwards. And then the issue of hovering, actually, he also told me that the helicopter hovered a little. It seemed the pilot was trying to find a safe place so that the level of damage or level of casualty would not be much. So he was looking for somewhere so that if the helicopter is going to crash, it will crash into where it will not affect people or affect the level of damage would be a little more minimal. So that was what the security officer told me this morning. And he was there, he saw when the helicopter was coming down. All
right, Mike. Thank you so much for bringing us more details from the scene of the helicopter crash. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's quickly bring it back to the studio now before we let you go. You were trying to say something.
As I was saying,
yes, quickly.
To what extent have we been going through this pre-flight briefing in Nigeria now towards ascertaining the psychological balance of even pilots? Because all those things come together to form to allow safety.
From what we have seen, it shows this pilot had some level of experience. And
where I'm going is this. I said there was a video trending. I don't know how true that video is, of which he was inside a body bag. Do you understand? So that means there's a kind of a premonition, even by him. But if there had been a kind of a
he was just having fun with his colleagues at the time.
Do you say what?
He was just having fun at his colleagues.
Yeah, that fun goes a long way. What I'm saying is, if there had been a kind of a pre-flight briefing, and then the owners of that aircraft or the station manager have had that and has also looked into that, you will have been able to say, look, because we have seen situations whereby pilots will come on board and then was having something else on his mind. We have seen such situations before. It happened sometime last year.
Really?
Yes, in the aviation industry, somewhere in Europe. We have seen a situation whereby, even here in year 2000, whereby somebody who is supposed to work at the ATC resumed, and instead of reading the logbook to be able to know what work has been done at on the tarmac during the day, he didn't. And then unfortunately control hydro air into a ditch. Until today, hydro air cannot get out of it. So we need at all time to always be ahead of incident and accidents.
Well, Dayo, the point there is, when it comes to crashes in Nigeria, a lot of persons, in fact, industry experts will say Nigeria has tried, to ensure that professionals, people who are seasoned, are the ones who, and then also updating whatever it takes when it comes to all the certification and all the safety measures and all of that. What, in your mind, what do you think was right behind this, even though we're still waiting for the final investigation?
You see, there's no doubt about it that Nigerian aviation industry has come of age in terms of accidents and incidents. No doubt about that. But in aviation industry, safety there is no safety if it is 99.9. It has to be 100%. All right? So to that extent, we still have to keep on building. And that is why in the industry, you see people having researches on this and all that all of the time, okay? Now, looking at this one that just happened, research has shown that nothing less than 85% of incidents and accidents are caused by human error. Human error in terms of training, in terms of ability to react to emergencies when it occurs, in terms of ability to know what is supposed to be done. I was listening to Ijason just now when he said the aircraft was hovering for about 50 minutes, and I was thinking...
The respondents
yes,
actually
and we also saw the canal, and you see building. Yeah. Let me refer you to what happened in Utzin in year 2000. That aircraft just left and now ingested some geese and then stopped one or two of the engines. The pilot now saw, where will I go? He landed that aircraft safely on top of Utzin River. All right? And after landing on top of Utzin River, every passenger there were evacuated. Between you and me, I was expecting that pilot. I haven't seen that water body. And you can see that that place is even spacious. That canal is spacious. For him to have landed on that particular water body instead of the building. War, yeah. Even though I wouldn't know why he decided to do that until when we see. But we are, like I said, we are just looking at the eye accounts and all that too. But then I would have expected him to land on that water body because there, one, there are no human beings there. Two, you have enough of space. Three, the impact will not be will be less on even the passengers. Maybe by now they will have been rescued.
Well, but almost everyone commended the pilot for the way he guided.
Listen. Not that I'm not commending him. Yeah. What I'm saying is, instead of, common sense will tell any one of us who are not even pilots that inside of those buildings on a water body, there'll be less impact. And that is what safety is all about. To be able to take decisions that will reduce the impact. Do you understand? If you had landed on that water, it will have been, the impact will have been lesser.
And that's where perhaps trainings and research
that's why I said
comes in.
Yeah,
so and that's where my question is going to actually. Do you think that with regards to research and trainings, are we doing enough to ensure that certain decisions as this, people, the pilots and every other person in this industry can get to that level where they take such decisions?
Yeah, you see, the situation in Nigeria is different. We all know what is happening in our country now, vis-a-vis what is happening in other climes. When it comes to spending money on training and education, vis-a-vis other areas, we all know what is happening. That we are not seeing, that we are not experiencing incidents and accidents within the industry does not mean that we are having enough training and all that, all right? It could be out of individual effort of those pilots and operators. But what I'm saying is here, government need to look into the industry and then find out what are the lapses here. Because, like I said all the time,
I guess that's what the NCAA and all of those are doing.
They're all doing that, but we need to be, ahead of occurrences. If we are not ahead of occurrences, it will just be catching us unaware. Right. Like you were talking about training now, training. If peradventure, that guy has enough training and experience, he would have, anybody will know, everybody knows that that water body.
Well, the point there is, until more investigations come out,
absolutely,
then we get to know
why he's not doing this and that.
Because the point there is, we can't conclude now whether his training wasn't enough or he wasn't experienced. But the point there is, we all knew that people commended the pilot for guiding the helicopter to where it crashed. Well, Dr. Kayode, thank you so much for your time on the program. We really appreciate you.